Good morning, reflectors.
Good morning.
Welcome and welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Friday, July 17th. I had to say that slowly because we've had to stop so many of these episodes because I kept saying January.
You keep on saying January all month.
It's so weird.
That's what? You want your birthday to come back or something?
Maybe it's because it's so hot, I'm kind of desperate for winter.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just flow right into January when I start saying July. So I have been enunciating it very precisely. But be that as it may, it is Reflection Friday. We've been going over self-sabotage and sabotage as we're making life changes and reprioritizing. We have a few loose ends to tie up, as well as some reflecting thoughts that we'd like to share with you all.
So I think we were pretty complete with the self-sabotaging.
I agree.
Yesterday we talked about how it may be intentional sabotaging or unconscious sabotaging when other people don't want our relationship to change. And that's where we do have to have a lot of compassion for the other people. We may feel so good about the changes that we're making, and yet it is affecting this other person's life or these other people. And we want to make sure that we are cognizant of that. One little aside that I would share about that particular subject, I was thinking about it yesterday after we made the podcast. When you're really hurting and you know that you need things to change in your life, and you start making these changes and you get that resistance or pushback, it's extremely difficult to always handle that resistance and pushback in a way that is maybe helpful for all. Because sometimes, and we've seen this around the coaching table, I have experienced this myself. It's very difficult to know that you have just got to change. You can't just keep doing life the way you've always done it. And you love the people around you, and you know that what you're going to do is going to affect them. And then if they start getting upset, you may not handle that as well. Some people get angry, some people run away, some people go back to doing things that they didn't want to do. I guess I just wanted to remind, maybe this is a little reflection. I want to remind us, if you're on both sides of it, if you're the one changing, we need to have the compassion for the people around us. But that doesn't mean don't change. Don't reprioritize. If you're reprioritizing your health and you don't want to eat as much or drink as much or do all the things, stay on that course, but recognize there will be resistance because the other person, maybe they're not where you're at and they're not ready for the change. And if you're in this position where you know life needs to change and you're getting the resistance, and then you look back 5 years afterwards, 10 years after, and you go, oh, maybe I didn't explain myself as thoroughly as maybe that would have been helpful for them, or whatever the case may be. Just know you were doing the best you could. This sometimes can be messy work. But the most important thing is that we learn to be true to ourselves. Sabotaging can also show up when people are destroying your boundaries. When we asked for input about what you all would like to listen to for our themes, boundaries came up a lot. People wanted to hear more about boundaries. And that was a little surprising because sometimes I think, I don't want to talk about boundaries too much, but if y'all love to talk about boundaries, we're going to talk about boundaries. So we might just have an entire month where we review boundaries. I will say though, boundary destroying behavior from others is a form of sabotage. So we want to watch out for that. And then lastly, we have to think about how our life changes and reprioritizing will affect our workplace. If we're the person who has stayed late, we're the person who's willing to come on the weekends, we're the person that does all the things, maybe skips lunch, And then we look at our lives and we say, I don't want to keep doing this. This is not sustainable forever for me. I need to stop. I need to take lunch. I need to be able to come home and be with my family or go to the gym or all the things that we want to do so that we can take care of ourselves. We may get pushback and resistance from our workplace because, number one, it benefits the organization if we're willing to work hard like that. And number two, we live in a culture where all of that unhealthy, no work-life balance is rewarded and thought of as, oh, look at them, they're really a team player. Actually, you're not a team player if you're not taking care of yourself. We've got to take care of ourselves. So those, what we talked about yesterday, where people don't want us to change, there can be some boundary destroying, and then we have to think about our workplace. Those are examples of how others can sabotage our life changes and our reprioritizing or attempt to sabotage.
I have a little bit of a reflection for today because I've been thinking so much about this topic. This is a bit of an asterisk on the whole being sabotaged by others. And this has come up a lot in my mind. In our lives, hopefully, we all have a few VIPs, very important people. Those are the people that I would double check and ask yourself, are they really sabotaging me or do they care about me? If I'm making a life change, if I'm reprioritizing, and Annette says to me, what are you doing? That doesn't make sense. That sounds like a bad idea. She's a VIP to me. She's not trying to sabotage me. She cares about me and doesn't want me to go down a path that isn't healthy.
It's funny that you bring that up, Ada, because I've been thinking about the same thing, but taking a little different take on it.
What's your take?
Well, my take, I love what you said, because what you say is extremely valid. We have to hold one another in positive high regard. And if I come to you and say, Ada, what are you doing? Then, of course, that would be what you do for your VIPs. I have been also thinking about how difficult it is to change and reprioritize when it affects your VIPs. Let's say you and I got into a habit of eating chocolate cake at work every day for lunch. Doesn't that sound good?
That sounds like a fun habit, actually.
Okay, so let's say we did, because you and I try to be very healthy. If one day I said to you, Ada, I don't want to have chocolate cake for lunch anymore. I'm gaining weight. I just have that energy drop in the afternoon. I don't want to do that. That is really hard to do with your VIPs because we have this bond. We enjoy our work together. We stop and take this break. The chocolate cake is delicious. We have perfected making it. And then I'm the one who's going to say, I'm just going to stop this.
We end up sabotaging each other, don't we?
Yes, and I want to make sure that we talk about this because this isn't as easy as it sounds, and it's not so cut and dried. If you and I are bonding over chocolate cake, then what are we going to do at lunch? What are we going to say to one another? Are you going to keep eating the chocolate cake while I eat my salad?
And sometimes people suffer for years in silence in a situation they don't like at all because they don't want to disrupt that bond.
Well, and it is a bond. So when we think about our lives over this weekend, let's have compassion. When we're thinking about the ways that we're changing, the ways that we're reprioritizing, let's have compassion going both ways. When we think about our VIPs and we think about maybe some changes that we want to make, understand that it is going to affect them. Understand that if you have handled things in a way that now you go back and you say, I wasn't in a position I didn't have the emotional capacity to handle that the way I really wish I could have handled it. Have compassion. Because remember our definition of compassion. We are all doing the best we can with the tools, the awareness, and the understanding that we have at this moment.
Let's make that our intention for today and for this weekend. I will go through my life changes and reprioritizing with compassion for myself and the people around me. I will go through my life changes and my reprioritizing with compassion for myself and the people around me. Thank you so much for joining us today and this week. Our day is better because you are a part of our day. See you Monday.
See you then.
I'm wanting something more, and I'm ready to begin. A life of happiness awaits me. It starts today when I intend.